Okay, just want to say hello to everybody, all the people that subscribe to the channel. Thank you for that. And today's video, I had actually already recorded another video, but something happened in the last couple days that I kind of felt that I needed to make another video, a different video. Let me turn this a little bit. Is that right? Okay, that's right there. As you know, if you watched, any of my videos, I just completed a complete kitchen remodel that's been going on for probably, well, if you include the 3 months it took us to get the cabinets in, about 6 months. But they finished up last week, and I had the final check for the contractor. So I contacted him. He was supposed to come over last week on the 4th. Today is the 11th. It's Wednesday the 11th of August. He was supposed to come over on the 4th to pick up a check. He got tied up at some jobs, so he actually came over on the 6th, on Friday. So we have one contractor that needs to come in, and that's the electrician. He has some outlets that he has to put in. He has to change a circuit down in the basement on the whole house generator, because now we have the refrigerator on a different circuit than we had it before for the remodel, and I need that on the whole house generator. So I've been kind of going back and forth with him on this electrician. He was supposed to be here last Friday, and then he was supposed to be here this past Monday. Never heard from him, so I contacted the contractor. So then he says, well, I'm going to give you his number. I've got COVID. And I'm like, what? You got COVID? So he goes, yeah. He goes, I was out of town this past weekend, which would have been the weekend of the 7th and 8th. And he goes, I came down with symptoms Sunday night. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you didn't get it over the weekend. You got it last week. So the first thing I asked him was, did you have COVID last week when you came over here, which would have been Friday? And that was when he said, no, I got it when I went out of state. So I didn't argue with him. The guy's sick. He said he's had in the most pain that he's ever felt. So I didn't feel the need to argue with him. But I'll guarantee when he came over here Friday, he had COVID. Now, he wasn't vaccinated. I said, well, did you get vaccinated? He goes, no. He goes, I was going to do it this week. So he came over to my house unvaccinated with no mask on. And he's actually been kind of over my house, before I had surgery, then after my surgery. My big mistake was I didn't wear a mask. I should have, because my lungs are in a state right now that are pretty fragile. I mean, I'm still healing from the surgery, from them cutting the top part of my lung off. And I'm still on some instances of supplemental oxygen. So my lungs are they're kind of fragile. If I get COVID, that's probably going to be the end of me. Even though I've been vaccinated, there have been these breakthrough cases of people, who've been vaccinated and who've got COVID. And they don't necessarily end up in the hospital. They don't necessarily die. But just the shape that my lungs are in, gives me a big disadvantage right away. So I've got a COVID test scheduled for Friday. So I've been if I got exposed, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 6 days. I don't have any symptoms at all over it. So it's probably highly unlikely I got exposed to it. He stayed on the other side of the kitchen. I didn't really get close to him unless I was handing him the check. I didn't shake his hand or anything like that. He didn't cough. He didn't sneeze. So I was very limited to the exposure to him. I think he only spent maybe 5 minutes in my house if he was that long. So hopefully I'm going to be safe from that, but we'll know Friday. So another thing that happened was we started getting some bills from my surgery. Let me get into this app. The biggest bill was the hospital stay and the surgery. So let me, I'm going to show you one of the bills. I got to black out some of this because it has physicians' names and hospital names on it, and I don't need that online. So the insurance started coming through and paying some things, and I thought this one was particularly funny that they paid. So it says admission at blah 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 hospital from June 24th to July 1st, hospital services, it lists my primary care provider. Anyway, it was billed $100,153.20. So when I saw that, I'm like, well, geez, how much of that is going to be a copay for me? Insurance just must have been today they paid this out, because yesterday it didn't show up. Insurance covered $100,152.06, which left a balance of $1.14 that I have to pay. So the insurance couldn't quite pay that extra $1.14. I don't know why, but anyway, they covered the whole $100,000. In that $100,000, I'm not going to go through everything, but there's medical, surgical supplies and devices. A lot of the, which comes out to $35,000. A lot of these are the non-reusable probes that Da Vinci surgical robot uses. I believe that. I don't think they reuse a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of pieces on here. You know, instrument arm drape, they needed 4 of those. It was $1,200 a piece. Da Vinci stapler, Sureform 45 curved tip, $5,000 for that. I do have staples up in the top left part of my lung. That was a concern to me when I went to have an MRI, but my surgeon told me that those are non-conductive staples, so it won't set off metal detectors or anything like that. So anyway, that was 35 out of that 100,000. That was 35,000. Was a lot of it was just replacement pieces for that surgical robot. Then there's operating room services. I'm not sure what it just says. HC intensive major procedures. That was $33,390. Recovery room, $4,000 for that. So out of that whole thing, I'm liable for $1.14, which I'm not sure why they just didn't cancel the whole thing out. Maybe they will. I don't know. Or maybe they'll figure that they paid out too much. I'm hoping that's not the case. But if I look on this app that I've got for the hospital, it shows everything in my chart about what all the things were. So I've got like my primary care, $177. They paid $25. My copay on him is $30, so that didn't show up yet. Then I have a chest x-ray, which was $208. That's pending insurance. They didn't pay anything on that. $2,601 for the MRI. They'll probably pay the whole thing on that. Follow-up visit for the surgery was $775. They didn't pay anything on that. Non-Oasis Start Care visit, I don't know what that is. That's $169. Then they have visiting nurses, which was $1,400 and $1,400 so far. They paid $470. I'm sure they're going to pay probably the whole thing. They had pending insurance, $939. Then I had anesthesia. I guess that's billed separate. That was $1,400. That's still pending. One of the things they paid outright was just says hospital encounter. I'll have to look at the details. Which was $9,009. They paid the whole thing on that. That's the actual surgery, because it shows thoracoscopy, surgery, lobectomy, $4,480. With DX wedge resection, lung resection, $501. Initial inpatient consult, $883. So 2 of the biggest ones. I don't know what this means. SBSQ, hospital care, day, 25 minutes, to $228. I don't know if that's the amount of time the nurses spent in my room every day. I did have an army of nurses in my room every day, whether it was giving me injections, giving me food. I had to use these nebulizers for breathing. They came in a couple times a day for that. They came in every 4 hours with pain medication. You know, check my heart rate, check my pulse, check my breathing for oxygen. So pretty decent. You know, I have private health insurance that goes through my wife's work, because she does work at a hospital. So I'm glad that, you know, we're not going to get stuck with a $100,000 medical bill. Probably going to be a couple $1,000s when it's all said and done, which is fine. I couldn't imagine not having health insurance and having to come up with that kind of money for that work. So everything worked out. I'm hoping, you know, Friday I'll have a COVID test. I should know the results by Saturday or Sunday. I'm hoping all that stuff works out, and that should be fine. So, all right, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you, what was going on with stuff. There is another video. Like I said, I had already made the video. My breathing's starting to get a little bit. I had already made the video. I hadn't really worked on editing it at all, but then all this stuff kind of came up. So I figured I'd do this first and then do the other one on that. So don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Share this video if you can. Leave me some comments below. What do you think? of that bill? Do you think 100 and I'm going to say, but when it's all said and done, it's 150,000 for my surgery and everything, who's MRI, everything. You think 150,000 is out of line for that? They're probably going to pay 145,000 of it, maybe even more. Every day they're adding more to it. So, all right, don't forget to subscribe again. Give me some thumbs up if you like this video. I don't think you can give thumbs down anymore on videos. I don't know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.